Hey, good afternoon, gang. Good afternoon, guys. What's going on? Steven Steele here. And yeah, I just thought I'd do a special day stream. A bit unusual for me anyway. But I didn't get a chance to do this show last night. So I thought I would do it this afternoon. And then I will be back tonight for another show. So welcome, guys. Yeah, obviously a lot going on, a lot happening. Elon had his big announcement that you can now officially purchase a Tesla vehicle using Bitcoin. So there's that. And then there we saw a spike in the entire crypto market that lasted from late last night into later this morning. Excuse me. And now we're seeing just kind of a big retracement on the entire market. It's a bit unusual. I'm not quite sure what to make of it yet, to be honest with you. Welcome, Jeremy. Welcome, Unicornucopia. If you guys watching, if you could just hit that thumbs up, really appreciate it. It's the number one thing you can do to help out a small news stream like mine. Aaron, welcome, Aaron. Hello, D-Man. Good to see you guys. So yeah, we're seeing a full market retracement now. Now there are still a lot of coins that are still up before this latest crypto market slump that has been lasting the last couple days. One of those is VGX. VGX is still up considerably from where it was. Now, VGX took a dive by about nearly 40%. I personally am a big fan of VGX for a long-term thing, so I took advantage of that. It dipped below $4 a token. I think at about to the tune of $3.70. So I made some moves based off of that, and so now today it's up to about $4.60. But early this morning it got all the way up to about, I think, 5.5 cents. But it seems to have, I guess what I'm saying is, despite the major retracements we're seeing throughout the whole crypto market, there are a fair share of coins who are finding a new floor above the most recent slump that we've had for the last couple days. Another thing that kind of bothers me while it's going on is there's been a full PR smear campaign against cryptocurrency at the hands of our own government. So, as I said before, Jerome Powell, who's the Federal Reserve Chairman, our current one, he just on Monday, he came out with a lot of very disparaging statements and fear-mongering and in regards to Bitcoin and all of cryptocurrency, saying it's so highly volatile, it's not useful, it's not backed by anything, all the usual archaic, boneheaded arguments that we've seen. So I'm also wondering how much of this mainstream media and government backed smear campaign on cryptocurrency has been having on the crypto market. Now, when the government has spoken out against cryptocurrency in the past, it does dive. It does take a temporary dive, but it does come back after a few days. So I'm pretty confident that there's two things going on here, that we are still feeling the effects of this fear campaign, this governmental fear campaign on cryptocurrency. But I don't think it's going to last, guys. I really don't think it's going to last. The explosion in interest in cryptocurrency far exceeds anything the government can try to tamp down and try to dampen. This is really something, because this is something I brought up before, but I think it's worth bringing up again. Jerome Powell, who is the current Fed chair, this guy, people really need to know the truth about this guy. He has upwards of $12 million invested with BlackRock, which is the firm that will manage $750 billion corporate, a $750 billion corporate bond bailout program for the Fed. I mean, this should be illegal. That this guy is to be the Fed chairman. It's absolutely ridiculous. And furthermore, this guy's a former investment banker for the Wall Street firm Dillon Reed, who was a former partner of the wildly controversial private equity buyout firm, the Carlyle Group. And the Carlyle Group has spent over $1 billion in the last decade on lobbying. And not only spent over $1 billion in the last decade lobbying, guess who the Carlyle Group has spent that money lobbying? The federal government, and a former lawyer at a law firm called Davis Polk that played a key role on advising the government and Treasury in the 2008 Wall Street bailout. So this dipshit, pardon my French, you guys know I rarely swear. This dipshit is now the Fed chairman, who is a quintessential example and who played a pivotal role in the 2008 Wall Street bailout, who consequentially also played a pivotal role in the housing crisis of 2007, 2008, and played a pivotal role on putting this country, in America anyway, on the brink of a Great Depression 2.0. And so this guy has the nerve to sound off about cryptocurrency and to try to tell us that it's a bad investment and try to scare people away from investing in cryptocurrency. Give me a break. Give me a break, guys. You don't buy this, do you? I know you don't. Matthew, welcome. Graphwise, welcome. Prowess, welcome. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. So I do think that the entire crypto market, we are feeling some of those same effects. So next story. Is Elon Musk's influence on Dogecoin waning? This is a story that was penned by Shivdeep Dewal. I just love his first name. As I said, Shivdeep sounds like a 1970s gang leader. Street gang leader. And he went on to write, one word, Doge. Elon Musk tweeted on December 20th and sent the former joke cryptocurrency soaring as high as 20.5% in a single day. He also said in the same string, they have the best coin. Doge opened at, now this is some good perspective, because this was just back not too long ago, guys. Not too long ago at all. Doge opened at 2.3 cents on that day on March 3rd. So if you're getting impatient about the Doge, just remember that we were just a little over 2 cents such a short time ago. So what he's questioning here is if the Doge mania is fizzling out. So he goes on to write, Musk's multiple tweets of as of late have seemingly led to misplaced surges in minor coins like Mars Coin and Shibu Inu Coin. As for Dogecoin itself, the Muskian impact doesn't seem to be the same as before. This month, Musk called to Coinbase to support Dogecoin. Not only did this instance send the wrong cryptocurrency soaring, which is Shibu Inu, Doge ended in 6% lower for the day. Dogecoin is up about 850% in 2021 depressed time, with surge primarily coming in the year driven by Musk. Over the past 30 days, the mean cryptocurrency is down 3.5%. Despite Musk's optimism, some cryptocurrency experts are doubting that Doge would ever reach to a dollar level. The co-creator of Doge, Billy Marcus, told Bazinga that the price of a coin is literally what anyone wants to purchase it for at a particular time, which is something I always talk about. So, D-Man says fear-mongering boomers. It's funny. Welcome, Andy. So what are my thoughts on this? I do not think, firstly, it's a yes and no thing. Do I think Elon Musk's influence on Dogecoin price is waning? Yes. Actually, yes, I do think that. But I only think that because whenever Elon first mentions something, the first few times, it's always the most impactful. And that's not something that's just exclusive to Dogecoin. It's exclusive to anything. It's just human nature. So as we're seeing with Elon, today's a great example for instance. Just because every time Elon mentions Bitcoin doesn't necessarily mean it has epic reverberations on Bitcoin's market value. We're seeing that today. I honestly thought that we were going to see more significant market gains on Bitcoin today after the news of him announcing that you can now purchase Teslas with Bitcoin. But that doesn't mean, that being said, guys, that doesn't mean that Elon still doesn't have a very positive effect on the future of Doge. It doesn't mean that at all. When you look at Bitcoin's value just a year ago versus where it is now, for example, it's incredibly significant. So Bitcoin has gone up about 800% in the last year. And you guys know the story of the significant gains made going back longer than that. I mean, Bitcoin it's already at about $54,000, $55,000 a coin. And Elon helped propel that. He played a significant role in helping propel that value. It's kind of like Bitcoin has won so hard in the last few years that it's easy to lose track of how far it's come. And I've even found myself doing that today. Like, why isn't Bitcoin well over 60,000 after this new announcement? Well, there's a few reasons, but at the same time, you have to look at the full picture of how far Bitcoin has come. And when Bitcoin does well, we all do well. When Bitcoin does well, the entire crypto space does well. So, Bitcoin, you guys, is worth $54,000 a coin right now. How much more do we want? Now, I do think that Bitcoin's going to go exponentially higher than that. But to view the state of Bitcoin and crypto where it's at now today as a failure is incorrect and misguided. If you're bummed at how your portfolio has been doing the last week, step back. Step back. Look at where the market values overall have come in the last 6 months, in the last 3 months. So do I think Elon Musk on Dogecoin price is waning? Yes, to a certain degree, but that's not something that's just exclusive to Dogecoin. When things are first announced for the first time, it's always more impactful the first time, the second time, than times after that. I do still think there is plenty of reasons for Doge holders to be very optimistic. A few of which that I'll get to a little bit later in the show. Right now, we're kind of in a holding, in a holding pattern with Doge, where I don't think a lot is going to change on the market value of it until some big announcements happen. Robinhood needs to get the wallets going. That's one big one. Another one is just about to happen. Another one is, like I've always said, Dogecoin is one major announcement away from the value skyrocketing. And I don't think it's unreasonable to think that the type of major announcement that would be required to do that isn't far off in the future. I don't think it is. As we've seen lately, Doge is repeatedly put on the short list of secondary cryptos following Bitcoin. People often say Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, something like that. Welcome, Lord Dadbod. Welcome, Rose Fraser. Welcome, guys. If you haven't hit that like button, please do. It's the number one thing you can do to get this small, new little stream up in the YouTube algorithms. So, we are one decision away from Doge doing absolutely spectacular things. Just wait till the day when Visa merges with Doge, for example. Visa right now, the CEO of Visa is taking major steps to position itself to accept cryptocurrency at all, what is it, 700 million retail locations that accept Visa. Do you think they're just going to stop at Bitcoin? I think they'd be foolish to. The investment for a company like Visa to make Dogecoin an acceptable form of payment is minimal. Particularly compared to the payoffs that it would yield. What I'm saying, there's no big reason why the CEO wouldn't. All right, next story. Harmony One token rallies 700% in March. Ethereum devs say it violated software licensing. This is an interesting story. One I didn't see a lot of talk about. Bazinga again reports. The native token of Harmony blockchain, has seen its price surge to new highs since the beginning of March. Following the uptick in trading activity, the price seems to have captured the attention of Ethereum developer Peter. I'm going to butcher this last name. The last name is spelled Szilagyi. Anyway, he's the developer of Ethereum. And he stated on Twitter that the protocol's code base violated Ethereum's software licenses. So Peter tweeted out, "Harmony Protocol, your code base is in violation to our software licenses. We do not grant you the permission to relicense our code under MIT. Please delete any embedded Gotherium code or change your license." Uh-oh. This repository is violating our software licenses. The Gotherium code is licensed under LGP LV3, and you have no permission to relicense it under MIT. Without such permission, you cannot include it in the MIT project. So essentially, he's saying that Harmony One stole some of its licensed software coding. He's saying Harmony One stole some of Ethereum software coding without permission. That's interesting. Now, most of the reactions online to this appear to be in defense of Harmony One. And people are dissing this Ethereum developer for even bringing it to the public's attention. People are saying that he's basically player hating on One, and how he should have worked it out behind the scenes, and that's one of the only reasons he's doing it is because he's actually scared of Harmony One's success, etc., etc. Well, my take is this. Listen, Harmony One did violate some software licensing rights with Ethereum. So Harmony essentially stole some aspects of Ethereum software. If Peter wants to publicly call out Harmony One, then so be it. They shouldn't have done it. And I'm certain Harmony's developers are smart enough to have been aware of what they have done here. It's also my understanding that they have since rectified the situation. Does this mean that I think I have a very disfavorable opinion of Harmony One? Not entirely. The more research I've done, Harmony One's blockchain and technology isn't entirely dependent on this software breach violation. The majority of its programming isn't based on illegally borrowing from Ethereum, but it is an aspect. And I know they knew what they were doing. So I do think it is a ding. It's definitely a dent to Harmony One's credibility, in my opinion. And I know there's so many... The thing is, the Harmony One folks are so enthusiastic and so feverish about Harmony One that any criticism of it in this regard just gets maligned as people player hating on Harmony One's success. And Harmony One has had some incredible, don't get me wrong, Harmony One has had some incredible success in March. It's raised its market value about 700% in March. That being said, I've never been sold on Harmony One as a long-termer yet. I haven't invested in Harmony One for that reason. I will concede this, though. I did miss a good window of opportunity to short a coin like Harmony One, because obviously people made out very well as of now. But also, you have to be very careful when messing around with coins like this, because, and I could be wrong, Harmony could go on to be a good long-termer, but that's not what my gut's telling me. Well, it keeps rising right now, SR. But if you're invested in Harmony One, I'd keep a real close eye on it. I actually know someone that did quite well investing big in Harmony One about a month ago, and then recently sold everything and, you know, seven times their money. So, I think where most of the failures happen in crypto investments are not knowing when to pull out. And I know that phrase really sets myself up for a variety of innuendos, but it's true. Not knowing when to pull out. We've all made that mistake. As Kenny Rogers says, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. Now, I do have a pretty good list of coins that I'm in it for the long term. I'm in it for the long haul. But then I have a few other coins that I'm not in it for the long haul. I'm in it for the right time to make some capital and reinvest that either into my life, my business, or back in my more long-term aspects of my portfolio. SR says, yes, sold as well on my One Harmony, took the profits. It's good for you, man. I do think it's more probable that history is going to vindicate a guy like you, or a girl, whichever you are, SR, for that decision. STMX, great gains today. Yes. I got out of the STMX business. It was too nerve-wracking. Those margins swing so wildly from day to day with STMX. But I do think STMX, I do think there's still good money to be made. It's just not a game that I can play anymore. I've actually took the opportunity of the recent crypto market slump to reevaluate my portfolio and switch some things around. So I closed out some of my investments with the more risky coins, and I coalesced those investments into my more long-termers. Long-termers like Bitcoin, Doge, Ethereum. Those are my top 3 solid long-termers. And VGX as well. Engine coin, I would probably, it's almost on my long-termer, but I can't be, I'm not quite certain on it yet. I'm still feeling it out. But I'm leaning that way. Guys, if you haven't hit that thumbs up, please do. It's the number one thing you can do to get a small new channel like mine up into the algorithms. Just takes a split second of your time. Seen a few new names in here today. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so. I usually do live shows at night, about 4 or 5 nights a week. And we got we're building a really cool little community. Most everyone here is real chill. Really great folks. All right, next story. So Jack Dorsey ended up selling his first tweet in an NFT form for nearly $3 million. $3 million. And he's donated it to a charity, which is awesome. That one of the main things it does is it saves wild pandas. Cointelegraph reports Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, sold a tokenized representation of his first ever tweet for more than $2.9 billion on Monday. A 2-week bidding war between Bridge Oracle CEO Sina Astavi and tech entrepreneur Justin Sun. There we are again with Justin Sun. I'm going to get to that guy in a little bit. Saw the price move from $500,000 to the final sale of more than $2.9 million, with Sina Astavi winning out the bid and paid in the form of Ethereum. Dorsey stated that he would immediately convert the proceeds from the sale into Bitcoin and donate it all to Give Directly, an organization helping those living in poverty in Africa. And the sale concluded, the CEO tweeted transaction. So John Cleese, do you guys know who John Cleese is? He's a popular British comedian actor. And shortly after this, he appears to have joined the NFT craze, but in jest. And he seems to be, to use an English phrase, taking the piss on Jack Dorsey. And on Twitter, he identified himself as a young, unknown digital artist. And described the emergence of NFTs as a cultural movement offering a bridge from the past to the future. And right now he changed his Twitter handle to the unnamed artist. And he tweeted this out. Hello, it is time you go meet my alter ego, unnamed artist. I am delighted to offer you the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm selling you my first NFT. Though bidding starts at $100, you can buy it now for $69,000,050. And right now it's about halfway through its 10-day bidding process. And the funny thing is I think it's going for about 40,000 right now. I love John Cleese. I think that guy's absolutely hilarious. And honestly, we've seen that with Elon too. I think the best way to handle this NFT craze is just roll with it, but have a sense of humor about it, because it is kind of ridiculous. And I do think that we are in a bubble as far as NFT. Now, I do think NFTs are here to stay, but I do think we are in a bubble with it right now. I don't think all these prices are going to be so wildly high permanently. I just don't. So I do think we are in a bubble right now. And it's fun. It's absolutely ridiculous. Next story. PayPal is gearing up, guys. PayPal is gearing up to become a major crypto player. Major crypto player. CoinDesk reports PayPal is a global e-commerce payments platform founded in 1998 by Peter Thiel. Towards the end of 2014, PayPal made it possible for online vendors to accept Bitcoin payments via partnerships with Coinbase, BitPay, and GoCoin. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the meat of this story. So, in June of 2020, PayPal was finally allowed users to buy and sell cryptocurrencies directly. 7 years after it was first mentioned by David Marcus, PayPal declined to confirm or deny the report, but weeks later addressed to the European Commission was published showing PayPal had told the international regulator it was taking unilateral and tangible steps in the crypto industry. Not long after, Paxos had been selected to provide the back-end infrastructure for PayPal's imminent crypto service. Most recently, PayPal has confirmed by buying Curve, an institutional-grade digital asset custody solution. The acquisition is expected to be completed during the first half of 2021. And this acquisition is an effort to invest in the talent and technology to realize our vision for a more inclusive financial system. I hate this corporate speak. It's like corporate speak, like PR buzzword, like press release. Just say what you mean. So basically what they're doing, they've taken additional steps to head towards the direction of including a more variety of cryptocurrencies in with the PayPal platform. But their official statement is, the acquisition of Curve is part of our effort to invest in the talent and technology to realize our vision for a more inclusive financial system. Okay. But just say what you mean. So that's great news. That's great news. And I do think eventually, like I said before, I think Doge is on that short list. I think Doge is on that short list to be entering into a PayPal partnership. Aaron, thank you. I will check my DMs when I can. I'll check them shortly, okay? Thank you for sending that over. All right, next story, guys. Next story. But before we get to that next story, if I could ask a small favor, you guys. If any of you with a Twitter, if you wouldn't mind just retweeting this. This is just a link to this live stream right now, so a few more people can find it. If you wouldn't mind RTing that, if you got a Twitter, I'd appreciate it. You guys are my small initial core. So we are growing here, slowly but very surely. Sounds good. Sounds good, Aaron. I'm checking it out. Okay, next story, guys. Next story. Who created the Ethereum ecosystem? I thought this had a couple really interesting fun facts. Again, this is from CoinDesk. Vitalik Buterin, a Russian-Canadian entrepreneur and programmer from Toronto, envisioned the second largest cryptocurrency, Ethereum. Now, guess how old he was when he envisioned this. Guess how old he was when he wrote the coding, the initial coding for Ethereum. 19 years old. 19 years old. What were you doing when you were 19? I think I was playing in my first... No, not my first. I was playing in a punk band. And thinking about girls. I certainly wasn't writing the coding for one of the most successful cryptocurrencies on the planet. They go on to write, he released a white paper in 2013 describing an alternative platform designed for any type of decentralized application developers that would want to build. Many developers were drawn to this idea of creating decentralized applications because they would be accessible to a global audience, be free from censorship, and would give users more control over the data than most apps, which have been intermediaries in the middle of managing users' finances and data. To accomplish this, Ethereum makes it easy to create smart contracts or code that automatically creates an outcome when certain conditions are met. For his work, Buterin was named 2014 Thiel Fellow, winning a $100,000 grant to work on it. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was that young when he wrote the coding templates for Ethereum. 19. This article was penned by a journalist I hadn't heard before in the crypto sphere, Alyssa Hartig. And I did a bit of research on her. And I checked out her Twitter. And she has a recent tweet that says this journalist. It says, it seems like the blockchain hype gods spin a wheel every cycle to randomly determine which projects draw mainstream attention. This round it landed on Dogecoin and NFTs. Ooh. Hard disagree. Alyssa. In many ways, I think Dogecoin is Bitcoin in its purest form. Celeste says at 19, you don't want to know what I was up to. So this tweet from Alyssa struck me as both a bit arrogant and inaccurate. The hype behind Doge hasn't been just some randomized picking from the crypto gods. It's been a very deliberate movement with very deliberate intentions. And its success this past year has been anything but a randomized accident. Anything but a randomized accident. Next story. Tron Coins Justin Sun wins 6 million people in green NFT auction. Carbon Drop, the 3-day NFT auction, raised a total of 6.66 million for the Open Earth Foundation. Cryptocurrency entrepreneur Justin Sun has contributed $6 million to the Open Earth Foundation in the form of a closely fought auction to buy a piece of carbon-neutral digital art by the crypto star of the show, Beeple. When Justin Sun was outbid in the 11th hour and failed to clinch Beeple's Everyday's artwork, so he was trying to get his hands on that too and was barely outbid. It's been all over. Bidding tens of millions of dollars on high-profile NFTs. So for those of you who don't know, Justin Sun is the CEO of Tron and BitTorrent Coins. Now, he's more than welcome to do whatever he pleases with his money, but when you enter a business that is almost solely reliant on people purchasing your coins, and especially Tron and BitTorrent. Now, BitTorrent has been showing some more promise and uptick very recently, but I wouldn't say either one of these coins are foregone conclusions the way a Ethereum and a Bitcoin is. What I'm saying is they still have questionable futures. So if you are the CEO of some coins with some questionable futures, and you are a serious investor, and you've got some, let's say you've got a fair amount of money invested in to either Tron or BitTorrent or both, and you see the CEO spending tens of millions of your investment dollars collectively on NFT art, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? I'm just asking. Maybe it doesn't bother you. Personally, this type of stuff makes me a little skittish. I actually sold my Tron coins about 2 months ago and reallocated those funds to more long-term coin. I think I split it between Doge and Ethereum. Plus, it's not the first time Justin Sun has exercised questionable judgment being in the position he's in. Just my opinion, just my opinion. But if I'm investing, if I'm making serious investments in a certain coin, and I see of a developing coin that still has a questionable future of where it's going to be, and he's spending tens and millions of his profits on NFTs right now at this stage, I just don't think that's confidence building behavior for investors. Oh my gosh, I just saw Celeste's comment. He's not building confidence in the coins. Yes, exactly. All right, next story, guys. And by the way, we are seeing even a further dip in Bitcoin right now. But there are some new buys coming in that do look pretty good. So it wouldn't surprise me if we got over closer to 54,000 in the very, very shortly here. We'll see. We'll see. Next story. Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, was recently having a televised chat wherein the question arose whether he was more of a Doge or a cat person. So Coinbase basically had this thing that was like an event, like one of those Q&A events with the CEOs, like a live stream thing. And this is big news. This is really big because he was asked whether he's more of a dog or a cat person, and he and his coworker responded that they were both Doge people. Doge people. This is big. This is really big, guys. Why do you suppose the CEO of Coinbase would say something like that right now? Why do you suppose he would do that? Folks, I think Coinbase is getting really close to finally adding Dogecoin to its roster. That's what I think. And this is going to be a big deal, as Coinbase is currently the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the United States by volume, by trading volume. So this is excellent news. I think it's safe to call that Coinbase is adding Dogecoin in the very near future. This is tremendous news for Doge. Huge, huge, epic news for Doge. So it looks like the Dogecoin developers are working on finalizing some things before solidifying the addition with Coinbase. So that seems to be where things are at right now. And it seems that these Dogecoin developers are working very hard right now to get that done. And additionally, the Dogecoin developers announced something called Operation Such Friendly, which is an effort to make the Dogecoin core wallet much easier to use. Which is great, because I was tinkering around with that Dogecoin wallet, and I was just thinking, this thing needs to be streamlined a bit. They're doing it right now. The Dogecoin developers lately, guys, have been on fire. They've been working so hard for us. Working so hard for us. And there's been so many new developers jumping on board in the effort. Andy says they're prepping us up for the Dogecoin to be added to Coinbase. I think that's exactly right, Andy. Lord Dadbod says, for me to like a coin, I need to like the developers. You know, it's a good place to look. It's a real good place to look. Zero says, do you think Coinbase is that big? Because I'm sure people have other means to get Doge. By volume, they are that big. By trading volume, they're the biggest, by far the biggest crypto platform in America anyway. So you got to figure there are a lot of people that don't travel outside of their comfort zones. And for a lot of crypto traders, Coinbase is their comfort zone. So I do think it will have a significant impact. And I do think it's going to have definitely an impact on helping to solidify the long-term future of Dogecoin. I mean, considering that Doge has gone as far as it has without being on Coinbase is incredible, really. Is incredible, really. Folks, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. I do live shows usually about 4 or 5 nights a week. Every once in a while, you'll see me go on live during the day like this, but that's a bit more unusual. If you feel so inclined, you can throw a few bucks here on a super chat through Stream Elements. But, yeah, no pressure either way. And if you haven't joined my Discord community, I'm going to pop that link in the chat as well. And I'm giving everyone that joins my Discord right now a free subscription, which in the future I have planned some additional content exclusive to people with subscriptions. And it also gives you extra privileges within that Discord group. And that link is here. So I'm toggling over to Elon's Twitter right now, you guys. And he has the pinned tweet now, which is you can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. It's up to about 650,000 likes. And it says pay by Bitcoin capability available outside the US later this year. So right now, this is just a US feature. Right now, this is just a US feature. So VGX, you guys, is up pretty significantly today. It's up almost over $1 to what it was just 24 hours ago. So it's coming back. VGX is starting to come back. VGX is a long-termer for me. Voyager is absolutely exploding on the scene. Their growth in the last year has been 15,000% in a year. And it's just unbelievable. And they are rolling out to Europe and Canada by the end of 2021. And then they're rolling out in Asia shortly thereafter. So to me, this all spells solid investment. And the projections from the few voices that I do trust in this space have all been putting and projecting VGX to go anywhere between $35 and $50 within 12 months from now. Do with that information with what you will. But yeah. So, I don't know if any of you who saw the footage that Elon Musk retweeted last night about a fella who gets around in a wheelchair and is also a Tesla car owner. And it was footage of one of Tesla's features where you can automatically back the car out without the person being in the car, which was good because this fella in the wheelchair, he was parked in basically, with a car on each side of him, too narrow for him to be able to get through there. So then he just employed the feature where he could remote control, reverse and pull the Tesla out so then he could get inside the Tesla. It's really cool. It was really good to see that because honestly, I mean, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, the number one priority of our technological advancements in this lifetime on this planet should be to advance the quality of life for more people. Lord Dadbot says, I see really good things for Voyager as soon as they include the Doge wallet keys. Yep, they are working on that, Lord Dadbot. They are hard at work on that. Yeah, I can't imagine it will be too much longer. Lord Dadbot also says, I have money in VGX, just look at coins like BNB. Voyager is perfect for beginners. Oh, thank you for that super chat. $6.90 from Drinking Theory. Thank you so much for that, Drinking Theory. Appreciate you. Appreciate you tuning in. It's always good having you around. Thank you so much. Yeah, but just seeing that footage, it's really what it's all about. It's really what it's all about. And to dovetail on Lord Dadbot's point that Voyager is perfect for beginners and long-term investors, this is something I've said repeatedly. Voyager bridges that space for both beginners and long-termers. Because especially if you are someone who's been stuck on Robinhood, but you want to get out of Robinhood, but many of the other platforms are a bit intimidating for you, Voyager is not intimidating. Voyager is very user-friendly. It's got a very user-friendly, intuitive interface. And you also get your own private wallet. I am having, now it's delayed because the poor young lady has COVID, but I'm going to have the head of digital marketing for Voyager on this show. She was supposed to be on later this week, but she's got COVID, so it's going to be deferred a couple weeks till she feels better. Poor girl. But one of the questions I'm going to ask her is if we can get Voyager to include a night mode. That's honestly my only one big complaint about Voyager. I need night mode, man. I'm a night mode guy. I couldn't even imagine using Twitter without night mode. If Twitter wasn't on night mode, I would probably I would be on it a fraction of the time that I am. Thank you, drinking the theory. D-Man says, nice to see it actually have real use, though, for handicapped people. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, you work for... Oh, I didn't know you worked for them, Lord Dadbod. Voyager at night really sucks. Because it's so bright, right? So that's gonna be one of my main questions to her. So apparently, Crypto.com, they are launching their first NFT offering through the app on March 26th. So Crypto.com just created a new division called Crypto.com/NFT. So apparently you'll be able to bid on NFTs through the app starting March 26th. And the artist name for the first NFT auction goes by Boss Logic. Boss Logic. How much money would you pay for Boss Logic? I can't say I'd pay a whole lot. Not unless I had... Now, don't get me wrong. If I had enough capital where I knew I could flip it for a pretty decent profit, yes, I would. But in terms of for my own personal collection and satisfaction, someone who pens their artist name as Boss Logic, I just can't. Okay, we're gonna campaign Ethereum. We're gonna campaign Voyager for a night mode. Then that is decided. That is decided. Andy Shirley says, I love QuickBook. POS used it for 15 years. Excuse me. Well, guys, that is about all I have for now. I thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. We're just starting here. This is a brand new channel. We're just a brand new community, and there's so many big things ahead. So spread the word, and let's just keep this momentum going. You guys are fantastic, and I have a few things to take care of, and then I am going to prep a show for this evening as well, guys. So watch for that. That's going to be around 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we will reconvene then and party after the lights go down. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you real soon. If you have any news tips or anything you think I should cover, you can always DM it to me on Twitter. That's the best way to ensure that I actually see it. Yeah. My pleasure, guys. And we will see